Season 3 World Championship live from Los Angeles, California, and it's time to find out which teams will be facing off in next week's 4 quarterfinal matches. And to guide us through the selection process, please welcome Riot's Redbeard and Magus.
Well, thank you, Shocks, and thank you to everyone. It's been a wild tournament so far. But, you know, before we get the selection process underway, I want to say thank you to all the fans here today and all the fans, I mean, millions of fans around the world who have tuned in to watch the Season 3 action. You've all helped make the first 6 days of competition a truly incredible experience. So, again, we thank you guys. And you know, now the moment that we've all been waiting for. Let's see which teams are going to be facing off in the quarterfinals.
Right now, I'd like to welcome the captain of China's Royal Club, Tabe, to the stage to select his team's matchup in the quarterfinals. First up, please draw your match position. You can draw your match position. You're playing in bottom 1.
Oh, damn.
And now, you can find out who you'll be playing against. Hold it. It's going to be...
Whoa.
It's going to be OMG. Thank you. All right, now I'd like to welcome OMG's captain, Sam, to the stage. Congratulations, gentlemen. Give it up one more time for Royal and OMG. Wow. And now I'd like to welcome the captain of North America's Cloud9 High to the stage. You can draw the number of your match. Match number bottom 2. Now let's find out your opponent. Cloud9 will be facing Fnatic, and I'd like to welcome Fnatic's captain, Expeke, to the stage. Congratulations, guys. Give it up one more time for Cloud9 and Fnatic. And now please welcome the captain of Korea's Najin Black Sword, Song, to the stage to select his team's match. Welcome, you can draw your match. It's going to be top 2. And now we're going to find out who will be your opponent in the quarterfinal. Gambit. Najin Black Sword will be taking on Gambit, so I'd like to welcome Gambit's captain Alex Ish to the stage. Guys, give it up one more time for Najin Black Sword and Gambit, guys.
Suspenseful.
Suspenseful. Gotta find out this checks out. Finally, I'd like to welcome the captain of the Gamma Bears, the #1 seed from the Southeast Asia and Taiwan region, to the stage. Please give it up for Wins. Welcome, sir. You can draw your match. Okay, good. Top one. And the opponent. SK Telecom T1. Glad that checks out. And now I'd like to welcome SK Telecom T1's captain, Poo Mandu, to the stage. Congratulations, gentlemen. Give it up one more time for the Gamma Bears and SK Telecom T1. Some great matchups. Thank you, Redbeard and Magus. And now that we know the 4 quarterfinal matchups, let's send it over to Quickshot and the guys at the analyst desk for a breakdown of the bracket.
Thank you very much, Sharks. And there you have it, the 4 quarterfinal matchups for the Season 3 World Championship. Guys, let's take a look at this bracket. I was tired. I was. I am no longer tired at all.
For people that have no backside, like view backstage, we were literally just jumping up and down predicting
We lost.
predictions.
I turned into a 10-year-old girl and I was screaming at the top of my lungs. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about the games now, all right?
Yeah.
The first matchup that I want to highlight for the lovely audience that we have outside, for everybody watching, North America versus Europe. Cloud9 versus Fnatic. Now, I personally am looking forward to this matchup. Both regions' #1 seeds coming into this tournament. I think, considering all the rivalry that we have, it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to finally being able to settle in the quarterfinals. However, I want to get your take on. I'm going to start at the end of the line. We'll work our way down. Everyone gets their turn. Double lift, what's your say?
Well, as you can see from All Stars, NA's going to win, and Sneaky's going to get a pentakill. Unbelievable.
Crepo?
How can I disagree with double? Nah, dude, come on. Fnatic.
I think Fnatic has an edge. Again, they have a very unique play style, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. This is actually the matchup that I really wanted in the quarterfinals to see, so I'm really pumped. I think it'll be a good one. It'll be a good one.
It's going to be an incredible best of 3, and it's a mix of, I think, very different styles where Cloud9 goes ham as a team pretty hard, and they have a lot kind of on the back of Meteos to carry that through, whereas you've kind of got the split push mid lane show from Fnatic with Peke, so I just kind of want to see which one does better.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. The winner of this game will play a Chinese team, because on the other half of their side of the bracket, it is going to be Royal taking on OMG. This is going to be a rematch of those LPL qualifiers. Doublelift, what's your take on this quarterfinal matchup?
So it's going to be a rematch of the Chinese playoffs winners finals, and that is going to be insane because I think OMG were considered the favorites coming into the Chinese playoffs. Then they got upset by Royal, and now you don't really even know who's good anymore because Royal has their star AD Uzi, and OMG has been just looking so strong. It's going to be really interesting because these guys are so familiar with each other. They've been playing with each other for what, 2 seasons? So I'm gonna expect some interesting strategies. I don't expect really standard play because that would just be, that'd be crazy to do that in quarterfinals.
OMG beats Royal. Royal goes to rules brackets. Royal comes back. Royal beats OMG. OMG goes 7-1 in group stage. Meet Royal. Royal plays Twitch Annie mid. This is gonna be good.
It's going to be really wild, and like you said, these teams know each other so well, and that always produces the very interesting mind games. So maybe battle of who gets to pick support Annie. I don't know. It's going to be a crazy one.
The crazy is probably the best term I can use for it as well. I think you summed it up pretty much succinctly, Monty. It's teams who know each other intimately, and they've got to do something pretty special to make sure they win this BO3.
Right, on the top half of the bracket, the next 2 quarterfinal matchups. The first one I would like to highlight, Najin Sword taking on Gambit Gaming. This is a Korea versus EU. Before I get the comments, I would like to highlight that Gambit has a pretty good track record against Korean teams on lands. I want to remind everybody of IEM Katowice, bouncing back against both of the CJ Enter squads at the time. I'm not saying anything other than, if anyone could do it, Gambit can. What's your take on the matchup?
The most interesting thing about this one is that nobody knows exactly how strong Sword is. They just know, okay, their roster seems really strong, and they made some changes recently, dropping McNoon and then have a new mid, Nagne, and nobody even knows exactly how strong they are, but I personally leaning against Prey. I know from experience this guy's really good, and I think he's going to give Gambit a lot of trouble, just single-handedly, whether or not the rest of his team performs.
Completely unknown, or well, not unknown, but unscouted Korean team against Gambit, who doesn't care who they play against because they have a signature style. As the Russian overlord Korean Slayer, did look shaky though. So my money's still probably on Sword, but I want to see that matchup.
Probably a good matchup for Gambit in that regard.
Yeah.
Not necessarily too phased by their opponent's style.
Yeah, again, what these guys have said, Sword's kind of the big question mark here. We don't know. We haven't seen too much of Nagne, the laner that they're probably going to run in the mid lane. And Gambit did look pretty shaky, but we just have no read on Sword.
Are you on or off the Sword train? I just want to keep tabs.
Which trains are you on?
I guess I'm on the Sword train,
Okay,
but
just checking.
I mean, I've seen all their recent games, and I still don't even know. It's worth saying that at the beginning of Champion Summer, the esports press in Korea, most of the pro players, and even I thought that Sword would win Champion Summer, and then they didn't even make it out of the group stage, so that was a big surprise. But on paper, their lineup has always looked strong. They had play calling issues. Have they fixed them? They've had some time.
We'll
so
find
it's a
out on
big
Monday
mystery.
or Tuesday, that's for sure.
Yeah, the story I actually like about this matchup is that both these teams were in the Season 2 World Playoffs.
Yeah.
Sword lost to TPA in the quarterfinals, then Gambit lost to TPA in the semifinals.
That's a great point.
And so I kind of want to see how far these two teams go, because they both lost the same opponent.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and of course the winner of Najin Black Sword versus Gambit will take on one of these two teams. We'll start with the Gamma Bears. They are sitting at the very, very top of the bracket, and they have the incredibly difficult task of taking on SK Telecom T1 in their quarterfinal best of 3. Double Lift, what's your take?
Well, while there isn't that much research done into Gamma Bears, from what I have seen, they do play really slow, which is exactly the opposite of what you need to do to play against SKT. So in the quarterfinals, not just in this match, I expect a lot of cheese, especially coming from underdogs like Gamma Bears, who people might underestimate or write off. Like, you're going to see a lot of cheese. I guarantee you. Maybe not in the quarterfinals, like too much, but definitely as the tournament progresses, you're going to, well, I shouldn't say cheese. I should say unique strategies.
Unconventional play.
Unconventional play.
Poor Bears, though, like, they didn't even have any, it was predicted already, had to go on stage, guaranteed drawing SKTT1. Who wants to do that? Especially after this last game where 12-minute inhibitor. Who does that at World Finals?
SKT does.
Apparently so.
I got to agree with these gentlemen. I think Gamma Bears, though, they do have upset potential. I think like Najin Sword, we don't have a terrific read on them, and who knows what they've been preparing, so.
Just before we get Freak's input, if there's one thing we have seen from the Korean teams is that the early adaptation, not 100% the strongest.
true.
So we'll have to see if Gamma Bears can surprise them. That could play into their favor.
true.
See, I actually like this matchup for Bears because look what happened last year. The #1 seed comes out and wins the World Championship, and everyone underrates them because they came in from an unknown region. Of course, speaking to TPA, and of course, Bears are here in their stead. I'm just saying the exact same thing was here. Here's the amazing Korean team, whether it's Sword or Frost, if you want to count last year, and TPA wins it all. I think Bears can just retrace those steps.
It's going to be very interesting to see. It is getting late. I cannot believe the